Welcome back to Booze Bros and Cars, your favorite podcast about booze and cars. And we're your hosts. I'm Eric.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Nick.
All right. So first up, to our usual fashion, we're going to be, usual fashion with the virtual podcast. We're going to be talking about what we're going to be drinking here tonight. So I've got two beers. One of them, courtesy of Mike. Is the dessert station? What is it? Is that apple pie dessert station from?
I almost grabbed mine tonight.
Hell yeah!
Dude, I'm so looking forward to drinking this. Especially, man, I really wish that I could have made it up to Pie Day today at Corporate Ladder.
Oh, that was today.
Yeah,
right.
So they're releasing all their stuff, and I really wish I would have been able. Who does a freaking bottle? You know what? No, I can't say that. It's a Tuesday. I don't blame them for doing a bottle release. I'm just a little salty because it's on a Tuesday, not on a weekend, so I can.
Well, and they're next Corporate Ladder
Thursday because Pie Day 3/14 should have been next Thursday.
It is, but so last year when they had Pie Day, I drove up and I bought us all the beers from Corporate Ladder. Actually, I still have a couple of beers in my fridge. It's the bottles though; it's not the cans. So it's a higher BV one, so I think they're a little bit. They can stay in the fridge a lot longer. But anyways, I drove up the weekend before Pie Day, which is so happened to be this weekend before Sebring. So yeah, I was able to scoop up a bunch of beer. It's an expensive bill, but it was well worth it. We had some good stuff at Sebring. And the second one that I'm going to be drinking, I'm kind of sad because this is my last bottle. I need to grab some more from a certain someone that owns a bottle shop that we all love. But he gave me this. It's the Rebouge Vitis from Garage East. So it's my last mead from them. So I'm going to enjoy that. This is it's grape mead and peanuts. And dude, honestly, what it smells like peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It smells phenomenal.
That's a great one.
Yeah, it doesn't sound terrible at all.
No. And by the way, if you guys didn't figure it out, obviously favorite bottle shop number 3, the guy that gave me this, Brandon, just gotta plug him into the podcast here. Anyways, what do you guys got lined up to drink tonight?
Well, number one for me tonight is a beer from St. Bernardus, which we haven't had anything from St. Bernardus on in a while. They're kind of known for higher ABV Belgian beers. This actually showed up and thought it was worthy of a try. It's only 5% alcohol, but it's their wit. So it's just a Belgian wit. And it's a cute little can. It's 11.2 ounces because they import it from Belgium. So kind of cool. So that's number one. And then I'm going to do a cider after that, going with the old Three Daughters Key Lime.
Oh my God, dude.
Which is delicious.
Three Daughters.
It's really good. I think
such amazing stuff.
I think I'm probably going to bring some of these to Sebring, the key lime ciders.
Oh, yes, please.
So they're fun. They're sweet, on the sweeter side, but they're really, really good. Good flavor.
Yeah.
So,
for sure.
Those are my two.
There you go.
Nice.
What are you drinking, Nick?
Keeping it simple. Did just have a Voodoo Ranger Juicy Haze IPA just to kind of get started before we kicked off here. My second round is going to be a Terrapin out of Georgia, a little Hopsecutioner IPA. Just a solid IPA choice, just kind of keeping him nice and cool in the coolster. And then the drink I'm working on right now in one of our
you got to have the IMSA
nice
coolster.
branded glassware. This is a little old fashioned I made. It is delicious. Mm-hmm. What I made it with was just because I've never been a straight Jack guy. Got a bottle of the Gentleman Around, so about half of this, some kind of Mexican chocolate mole bitters, and I decided to flavor it. A little Scatterbrain dark chocolate banana whiskey. It is freaking delicious. I will tell you that right off the rip. It goes down way too smooth. This is probably a pretty dangerous mixture. With a half and half Gentleman Jack and the Scatterbrain, with a little bit of bitters in there. No simple syrup, nothing else. It's just.
I gotta ask, why someone who loves old fashions as much as you do you never have cordial cherries and like oranges on hand?
I don't ever make traditional old fashioned. Typically, they're usually flavored of some sort. So I had like different flavored bitters and shit. And
you know what? We need
yeah.
to. I'm gonna add that to the grocery list for Sebring. We're gonna make some traditional old fashions up there. Sounds
I'm
really
down
good.
for that. And this stuff's
Actually,
dude, like my wife actually sent this to me. I have multiple flavors. This is one of like 4 flavors that she bought thanks to TikTok or Instagram Reels. One of the people on there was doing a taste test of some scatterbrains, and yeah, a few of these sounded really good, and I just had to try a couple. We got a dark chocolate salted pretzel, salted caramel pretzel, something like that. I got this one, and then I got a dark chocolate vanilla cherry. That is phenomenal. I had that in an old fashioned the other night. That with some cordial cherries would be pretty good. But yeah,
Sounds good.
I just don't have that. Yeah, I don't know why. And I hate dealing with the orange peel and the twist. I don't need all that shit. The aromatics, I don't.
Plus, so I'm assuming that Chelsea got those at Total Wine, right?
Yeah.
Total Wine sells those because I've seen those there before.
Yeah, she went there the other day on a trek just to see what flavors they had on hand and bought a few for us.
Nice. Nice. And Mike, you probably don't have to buy those cherries because I have some already I can bring.
Do you?
They're moonshine infused cherries.
All right. Don't threaten me with a good time.
We're gonna get fun.
So we just gotta pick up a couple oranges, and we're in the business. I guess we gotta. I gotta remember to bring a muddler.
Yeah,
if you want to do it right, but
I got one of those floating around too. But
yeah.
So before we jump into some of the car talk and stuff, you want to bring up what's coming forward for the new project? Since I had problems.
Are you talking about your Nissan project?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead and jump right into it.
For anybody bursting at the seams.
It's a problem. So for anybody that has paid attention to anything and seen some of our posts and whatnot, about 2 weeks ago, literally tomorrow, 2 weeks ago, I won an auction for a 97 Nissan Cedric GTU or Gran Turismo Ultima. Eric was gracious enough to let me fly him up there and pay for gas, pay for food, and I owe him at least a couple dinners still. And he drove it back. So I flew him up on Saturday. He drove it back. I drove the car that night for the first time, and I have driven it, I think, every single day except for maybe one in the last week and a half, more than my Explorer. But today I did a thing. We have a local performance shop around here called Import Image Racing, and I've been chatting with them a little bit, and they basically said, hey, bring the car over, we'll throw it up on a lift, and we'll check out some fitments and see what kind of makes sense. So we did just that. We threw it up on a lift today I don't know if he's their lead sales guy, whoever, Dane. He was awesome. His guy that usually handles the lift and some of that stuff was tied up, so he's like, F it, let's go, buddy, I'll put it up there. So we drove it up, put it up on a lift, took a wheel off, started testing a couple things with a couple of styles I was thinking of to check fitment, and picked a wheel, which I have maybe sitting next to me, and I will show you in a second. But while I was also there, because they're also a major BC distributor, we just ordered my BC racing coilovers on the spot with a special spindle attachment. So it's a little bit pricier, but it's an easier install. It should be a cleaner install as well for the 3 guys you see here. Should be a little bit easier for us. So with all that being said, the wheels, I am quite excited for.
He really would have those wheels sitting
right next to right there.
Just one. I might sleep with it tonight. I don't know, but so yeah,
they are pretty nice. I do like those wheels.
Yeah, so the nice satin black 5-spoke with the satin copper lip, which with some of the colors I'm considering for the wrap or even the factory black that it currently is, these are going to go phenomenally with pretty much.
Dude, I think the factory black is going to look really good with those on it. And can I just say, I'm very happy that someone else, pulled a mic and immediately got wheels
off the rip.
Yeah. I know.
I like it.
Low blow towards me. Wheels soon to
come. You've been talking about it for a while.
Towards like performance related things. Now you did go right for coilovers, and then when I got the Explorer, I went right for tune, intercooler, downpipes, all that kind of stuff. That was actually the last part for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just kind of different thing. I guess what it is when I bought the Explorer, I bought a car that was already kind of quick, but I wanted to make it quicker. The Cedric for 97's got some power, but it's going to require some fueling upgrades. There's actually some bolt-on turbos for like 750 with rebuilt hot sides, bigger, better compressor components and stuff. So
Nice.
there actually will probably be a turbo upgrade in the future that is a direct bolt-on, nothing crazy, anything like that. But one of the things that I don't know about will be like the tuning stuff. So like something like this is gonna be way more complicated for this because I talked to a guy that does locally does some tuning stuff. And he basically sort of said, dude, stock ECU, I can't do anything. You have to buy like a Haltech or something like that. So that's something I've never done
So
before.
you got to go. So you don't even have the option to do a piggyback. That's got to be a full.
Yeah, I don't know. So I talked to one person locally who I just know does some tuning on dynos and stuff. So I just wanted his opinion real quick. But yeah, that's why aesthetic stuff's going to come first. So suspension, wheels, fix a few minor issues on the interior that are purely aesthetic, and then probably wrap the car. So that's the direction, and then it gives me plenty of time to do research and look at. I mean, I'm talking like not even a full blown intake, but just replace like an HKS cone filter.
Mm-hmm.
If I feel ricery, exactly, that's
filter.
the green one is the one. If I feel ricey, maybe a HKF sequential blow off valve with a recirc tube. And then
man, haven't played around with one of those in a long time.
It's been years since any of us have had something turbo worthy for something with a blow off valve, but
that's true.
So I mean, it's a Nissan and it's a JDM, so I feel like I'll get one eventually. And from what I've heard, it sounds great with a recirc tube with that HKS honeycomb filter. You can still hear it pretty well. I don't need to be obnoxious, but yeah, then I got to figure out, some fueling stuff, turbo upgrade, some way to tune the car. I already got somebody in mind that's already hit me up for custom exhaust work in the future. So, but again, that's the. I want to sit in pretty for a while because it's a great cruiser as it sits.
Yeah.
And even my wife asked me, she's like, "Are you gonna make this thing fast or something?" I said, probably eventually something for some extra power. Mm-hmm. And I guess the stock block can handle like 500 horsepower. If I got it to 350 at the crank, even that's a 60, 70 horsepower jump. For what it is, that would be phenomenal. So that's kind of the game plan. But for now, readjust a couple body panels. Get those.
So when you say that's the game plan, I'm assuming probably within like 2 more weeks, you're going to have most of those things already ordered.
Probably.
The only next thing,
just knowing the pace at which you're already going with things, I feel like this is something that you probably have sitting in a shopping cart.
With wheels being in hand, tires arriving tomorrow, and coils arriving tomorrow or Thursday. My hope would be sometime by going into next week, maybe before we go to Sebring, to at minimum have the wheels on, if not the full-blown suspension set up. I'd like in the next month or two to buy the material for the wrap. My wrap guy's like, dude, just find what you want, buy it, hold it, and then as soon as you're ready, we'll schedule it up, drop the car off, and we'll do that. So, but I gotta fix those couple of that blemish on the bumper where it's flaky, and then that one spot on the fender. So as I said, there's little things that need to lead up to that. Mm-hmm. For now, I need to get some of that. Even though it's comfortable, it's very floaty on the suspension. Like I just need to tighten that up a little bit. So
yeah,
make it more secure on the road. That's kind of the
goal.
But yeah, so that's that for anybody following my shenanigans and my, as much as I say, F Nissan. Mm-hmm. Here I am.
Yeah,
here I am.
Hypocrite.
So, maybe I'll lease a Mustang Mach-E this next week and just really throw a wrench in all of my ideals.
Oh my god!
Get out of here! Just leave.
Yeah, right.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Just make sure you post everything up on your Y33 Daddy OnlyFans.
Man, you're kind of salty about that, huh? That I didn't name my Instagram that.
You should have. I am really salty about that.
I think what makes more sense is Daddy 33 because you got the Daddy with the Y.
Oh yeah, the 33. Actually, that's true.
That license plate is available.
Get it. I am disappointed with you on another thing too. You totally missed the mark of posting on 33 day or 33 day.
I know, I forgot. I meant to, and I dropped the ball on that. But another idea I have for a plate in the future is simpler, not quite as weird, but Y33 JDM is available. I might do something like that just to have it, stay clean and simple with the car. Nothing crazy hard to understand.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
Yeah,
but
good stuff, man.
Went from being a Nissan hater to right down the rabbit hole.
We specified it. I don't like USDM Nissans. They're built for shit. I'll say that again. Modern Nissans that come to this country are built for garbage. The OG stuff and the stuff they offer in Japan still, the Japanese people wouldn't accept that nonsense. They still get good stuff over there that we don't get.
It's pretty funny because now at this point we've all owned a Nissan at some point.
Oh yeah, we have. That's true.
So we're all
like. Oh,
I had a Maxima
Oh,
and I had an Infinity. I had an Infinity.
Oh yeah.
So I technically had two. I technically had two.
Because my car in this country was an Infinity Q45, so they're the same thing.
Yeah. So we've all owned Nissans up to this point.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Pretty wild when you think about it. I still miss my M57 though, man.
Oh yeah.
Some days.
Should I start looking?
I do. No, that ship has sailed.
He's not going to be happy with that shit anyways.
You know what I'm looking for now.
I know. Good luck finding one of those at the price.
You know the direction I'm trying to go.
Yeah.
I still got my buddy that feeds me pretty much every what is it, the Caprice Interceptor that's for sale in the state of Florida.
I've seen one or two pop up, but speaking of SSs, do you guys remember that Nardo grayish wrapped one that got stolen recently?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I found out my wrap guy's the guy that wrapped that. He's wrapped it, and then the guy was like, I'm gonna sell. He posted up, and then within a week of the post, it gets stolen. But
that sucks, man. That was the gray one with the black wheels, right?
Yeah, with the LSA supercharger in it.
Yeah.
I still don't know about that one, man. That's like a weird story.
Well, yeah, it really makes you wonder. Did it get stolen, or was nobody? It was nobody trying to pay him the amount of money he was trying to get.
In this area lately. I think it was this month alone, Lee County said there was 75 or 80 Super Duty stolen in the county.
What?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Our dealership had an 18 AMG G63 stolen.
Really?
About 2 months ago, and apparently we were one of 4 or 5 that were stolen in Lee County. So there's been a string of auto thefts going on, and they're chasing Highline Super Duties and Highline AMGs right now. Apparently.
Well, it sure sounds to me like car manufacturers need to do a better job since everything is now digital, having theft deterrence. I actually just got in the mail the other day. Funny enough, we're talking about this, I guess, now. I just got a letter in the mail about a class action lawsuit against Hyundai Kia for their faulty lockouts on all their vehicles. So
I guess
okay.
Those are not even like your generation. Those are keyed cars. Like you have a push button, so like I don't think yours is as prone to it.
I don't think it's my model, but I do know it's the Elantras in that time frame. So it might have been the keyed ones.
It was the Elantra and it was the Kia Rio, which was like the whole TikTok challenge. Everybody was stealing Kias just to make a video. Like that shit is so stupid. Like you're recording yourself committing a crime and
like
posting it on the internet. How fucking stupid are you? Go back to eating Tide Pods, you stupid fox. Jesus Christ.
Well, these are the ones that skip the Tide Pod thing because they're still alive.
Oh my God, dude.
Right. I was going to say, criminals are not exactly the smartest people in the world usually, so
God damn.
Go figure.
Yeah. Well, unless you look at some of the people at the top of big companies. They're both smart and criminal.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Amongst other forms of leadership.
Right.
We'll just leave it at that.
That's just pure stupidity if I know where you're going.
But yes. So, no. I'm talking about other stuff here in the US.
Okay. That's what I'm thinking too, but you go ahead. You do your thing.
But to your point, I think, was it last week that we really did, bro? We skimmed through that like crazy ass week of
the F1 stuff. Yeah.
The F1 stuff. So I have more.
Yeah, like, you gotta catch me up. I actually was watching the last podcast that you guys did, just the two of you, and I was kind of catching up with it. But yeah, what is going on with F1 this season?
It's nicknamed
it just
silly.
Started, right?
Yeah, it's this past Saturday, which is kind of a weird day because usually the GP, like the actual race for the GP, is on Sunday. So Saturday was kind of a weird day. But this should kind of be like an indication that it's going to be like a very off season this year. Amongst everything that I kind of announced last week, prior or leading up to the first GP, but everything else that came out after that, dude, freaking mind blowing. So starting off, I kind of start off with the whole Christian Horner thing, but Christian Horner, he was acquitted from all of his accusations, rumors, all that stuff about him. Apparently, it came out that he was sending inappropriate text messages and pictures to an employee or employees. It's mostly an employee at Red Bull. And he was acquitted from all of that rumors and all that stuff. And apparently, somebody leaked screenshots of a WhatsApp conversation with Christian Horner that proved everything. So that investigation pretty much was wasted by like a third party investigator, because they were like, no, yeah, he's not guilty of it. But then these screenshots kind of came out, and then apparently the FIA and F1, they're like, if you are in a few other sources, they're like, if you release these and post them, we're gonna sue you, because they don't want anything to be released, but they already happened. So so there's that. And kind of together with the whole Christian Horner thing, Jos Verstappen, which is Max Verstappen's father, has been starting shit with Christian Horner. Like, they've legit been going at it since the whole rumor shit has kind of been come up. So now it's not even like a rumor anymore. It's more like crazy ass drama at this point. Like, everything has just been heated and just been escalated so significantly. During the Bahrain Grand Prix, which is this past weekend, the two of them were actually seen arguing, like literally having a full blown out argument at the track. Allegedly, Jos actually went back to Christian Horner and actually apologized for it, but that's allegedly. He went back and actually apologized. So because of that, Jos is not going to be at the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix, Jeddah. He's not going to be there this weekend because he just doesn't want to be around the whole Christian Horner drama, even though he's kind of putting himself in there, which is kind of weird. I get it. He's Max Verstappen's dad. He's looking out for his, for the best of his son's, career. But it's like, bro, you got to chill, for a little bit.
I don't know. I mean, it just seems like racing and drama go hand in hand, right? I mean, look at NASCAR. Anybody that watches NASCAR, that is constant drama. So it's not like it's a new thing, but I mean, what is triggering so much of it in such a small amount of time this year?
It's mostly the fact that Red Bull is a very reputable, not just a company, but a racing team. So they have to portray a specific image. And according to not just Jos Verstappen, but a lot of other individuals, Christian Horner is pretty much the forefront of that image. And he's kind of tainting that image for Red Bull Racing, right, according to a lot of individuals. One group that is not very fond of this drama is, get ready for this, Nick, is Ford. So they're currently looking.
I've seen some stuff.
Yeah, they're currently looking for a clause in their agreement or their contract with Red Bull to potentially part ways with the Red Bull team due to the surrounding drama, which sucks because they're supposed to be their engine provider for 2025, which is next year, or 26. Most likely 26, because that's when the new engine regulations is going to be coming about. So because of that, actually the head bosses of Detroit at Ford, obviously, they don't want to be involved with Red Bull because of the whole drama. So yeah, it's crazy. It's kind of spiraling down into like this crazy and
Ford just got this contract with them, right? Because isn't that new? Like, they're currently not producing any engines for F1.
Well, they're not at all, but they were going to be joining Formula One because of Red Bull, and now they're looking to part ways with Red Bull.
Well, I was going to say, for them to just get their foot in the door with this, and then for something like this to happen for a company the size of Ford to just be like, no, we're good. We're not going to do this.
Yeah.
It's, especially with all the drama. Wasn't there a lot of drama going on with Cadillac? Didn't Cadillac want to participate, and they got shot down?
Cadillac and Andretti. Yeah, with
Andretti. Yeah.
But Formula One ended up rejecting. Yeah, but Formula One ended up rejecting their application for a bunch of stupid crap. But I feel
So much drama. It's just
dude,
like it's
and
like worse than soccer
but
or
here's the
any
thing.
other sport that I can think of. It's like, good
Yeah,
lord,
I know, but here's the thing. It keeps going. So,
crazy.
speaking about Jos Verstappen was also seen talking to the team principal of none other than the Petronas Mercedes team.
Saw that video.
Total Wolf. So there's rumors going on right now that Max Verstappen might be leaving Red Bull and headed towards Mercedes. Even crazier. Okay, so obviously Max does currently have a contract with Red Bull. But there is a clause in Max Verstappen's contract that says if Helmut Marko, which Helmut Marko is the director of Red Bull, if he leaves Red Bull, Max is free to leave or walk away from his contract with Red Bull. Here's where shit gets really fucking juicy. So this started a rumor that apparently Helmut Marko, Adrian Newey, and Max, all three of them combined, may be joining Mercedes. Dude, which is horrible timing for Lewis Hamilton because he jumped ship to go to Ferrari. And Adrian Newey has been building these monster freaking Formula One cars for the last 3 or 4 years. Actually, this would be year 4. And the pace that, Max showed this last race, he's going to win this World Drivers' Championship without a doubt. He's going to win this shit.
Wow.
So that's 4 years back to back that Adrian Newey built a car that is a World Championship winning car. And then here's Lewis wants to leave Mercedes to go to Ferrari to have a championship winning car. And then the person that's been building the last 4 championship winning cars is going to Mercedes, potentially going to Mercedes.
That could shake some stuff up really bad.
Yeah, for sure. But wait, that's not just the only guys that have actually been announced to leave a team, because the head of Alpine's aerodynamic and technical director, Matt Harmon, he packed his shit up and left Alpine.
Pack your shit in the fucking trailer.
Along together with the head of aerodynamics, Dirk De Beer, which is a really cool name, by the way. I'm just saying. And on top of all that shit, now the FIA president, Mohammed Ben Sulayem, is under investigation for interfering with race results at last year's Saudi Arabia team. So apparently the allegation is that he overturned a penalty for Fernando Alonso during the Saudi Arabia GP last year, which put him up on the podium. So apparently he wasn't supposed to be on the podium, but he was, because that a penalty got overturned. Dude, this, like, next year's Drive to Survive season on Netflix is gonna be like so dramatic. Like, I'm pretty sure fucking Netflix is just having a ball right now with all this drama coming out, because they're like, how can we extend the shit out of this season? Like, instead of making 10 episodes, they're probably gonna make 30 episodes and just
crazy
and just like literally stretch out this freaking drama further than what it really should have, than what they should have.
Soap opera at this point, man. This shit's getting so ridiculous.
You know what's actually really funny?
Yeah, it really is.
I was literally thinking that, like, while I was actually writing my notes right now, because I was like, Formula One has officially become a soap opera at this point. It's crazy. It is insane.
That's what it sounds like,
bro.
I mean,
like
I don't know.
Housewives of Formula One.
Well, it's like, does the majority fan base for F1, do they appreciate that kind of drama, or is it more like cumbersome on everyone at this point? Because it's just like,
I feel like it's more cumbersome. It's just added shit that's, on top of like the drivers duking it out, on and off the field.
Yeah,
this is just more additional shit that they're just.
Well, yeah. Now you're talking about controversy at the very top.
Yeah,
there's gonna be some serious lost trust at that.
But at that point, it's just a bunch of multimillionaires / billionaires in a pissing contest. It's like, I don't, for the average person watching F1, it's probably just whatever. I don't know. It's crazy. This is coming from a person that really doesn't. I don't keep up as much as I would like to with F1, but at the same time, it's like,
You
I don't
should.
know. It's hard to keep up with
And
all
I've
that
never
just
heard
from
of
the
this
outside.
kind of shit before in any other.
Yeah, I know.
This
It's
is
crazy.
this
Like
is
I
nuts
said, I
lately.
mean, I'm not a NASCAR guy either, like we've talked about on the channel, but like NASCAR has a lot of drama, right? But it's usually like
Yeah,
between drivers that duke it out after a heated a heated race or something. But like this
we've
is
seen
just
that, you know.
but it's also good old boys. They get into a fist fight, they punch each other, then they
Right.
go have a beer afterward. Like it's fun.
Speaking of good old boys, if anybody's watching or himself that knows Ross Chastain locally, a good old Alpha boy down our way, and wants to get us in touch with him, we'll do some NASCAR talk.
Absolutely.
With Ross Chastain for sure.
Yeah.
So,
and if you want to invite us to any one of the races, specifically Talladega, just let us know. We'll be happy to fly out to Tennessee.
Specifically Talladega.
I mean, I can. I've always wanted to go see a good race at Watkins Glen. I'm just going to throw that out there as well.
That'll be a cool race.
Sure. That's a good track.
That'll be a good race too. But I mean, Talladega is a big race. Come on,
or Daytona.
It'll be fun.
I mean,
Daytona passed already. Daytona passed already.
It did.
The Daytona 500 passed already. But I'd be down to go to a NASCAR race. It'll be fun.
It would be fun.
Yeah. Anyways,
it's all about the fans.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna enjoy my beer here or my mead here. Mike, why don't you just segment us to our next talking point here?
Oh,
I kind of ranted real quick about NASCAR or about Formula One. I'm like,
it's good. I'm sorry, Nick and I cannot keep up with the conversation on that. As much as we would like, like to. But it's good information to have.
We only get the snippets you share with us. That's about it.
Yeah, exactly. For real. Okay, so we started talking about this earlier in the week for everybody watching. I saw a Car and Driver post, I think on Facebook or Instagram, one or the other, shared it to the guys, and essentially what it is, it's about Jaguar ending production of gas cars entirely before their new series of EVs arrive, which are all their, I think it's the F-Pace, E-Pace, XF, all those. What I did not know, and I'm looking it up online right now, is that they're not only coming to an end, but they're coming to an end before the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So before 2025 hits, Jaguar will no longer be producing gas combustion engines. I'm hoping, maybe they've got some other drivetrain in mind. Maybe they're gonna. I don't know. Probably not.
I don't know, man. To me, this
Jaguar
is
going full EV, like that's crazy.
This is reminiscent, to me, in a weird way, to Mazda, because Mazda said, "Hey guys, I know we haven't perfected doing our own thing now that we're Mazda again. We're not sub-owned by Ford." They weren't like, "Hey, we have figured out how to do volume again, build good cars again." They were like, "We're kind of struggling. Let's switch over and build Highline cars because we can maybe figure that out." Right now, thankfully for Mazda, after some stumbling years of building good cars, they've gotten some more notoriety. Now, I don't think people see them as a Highline brand yet. Jaguar, however, has gone through its iterations of being unreliable British cars, beautiful but unreliable. Then they were in partnership with Ford, at which point you had two juggernauts, so to speak, on different sides of the ocean, half-assing cars. So that was awesome. Again, I work for Ford now, different times, but back then I myself had a 97 Jaguar XK convertible. I put an auto starter, professionally installed auto starter, and some days my windows were down when I went outside. Some days the top was down when I started it. So there's some issues, right? And now here they are going from, hey, we still make mostly unreliable, nice luxury cars, and we haven't figured that out yet, but we're going to try something totally different. But wait, guys, it's going to be great. I know we can do the basics, but the next elevation, we're gonna do that. And I think they're gonna fall on their face because if we haven't seen anything, like here they are launching this, and what is every EV manufacturer doing? Slowing production, cutting employees because sales are slumping, profits are slumping. They're tanking the market by dropping MSRPs on these vehicles. Elon at the lead of the whole thing. Ford's now done it. I mean, the EV market is an absolute train wreck. So why? And I thought Tata Motors, the Indian company that bought out Land Rover and Jaguar would be a solution, but they're kind of going the same way now all of a sudden of making what I think is a stupid friggin' decision. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts on this. They haven't perfected even building the combustion engines that are reliable. Now they're going to jump to something totally different that they probably know little about, because I don't think the I-Pace is a big seller. The E-Pace, I don't think that's a big seller.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think this is a very foolish decision that's going to bite them in the ass, because everybody else is slowing down production of EV because the demand isn't there the way the government said it would be, because the government tried to force it on everybody, and we basically told them to go pound sand because we can't charge anywhere. So that's another problem. But
we've had that discussion here before. I mean, obviously, EV vehicles.
I hate it, in case you can't tell.
Yeah, EV vehicles they serve their purpose, but I don't think it's the right time for EV vehicles to be mandated in the United States, because, to your point, Nick, there's not enough charging stations to be able to, support every EV vehicle, or every person to own an EV vehicle.
Yeah.
And two, there's not a power grid strong enough to be able to support that.
And that's it. It's a two-part problem, right?
Yeah.
The infrastructure for charging is not there. And that's on the people, but the people don't accept it. So that's why there's no rush to build it. The second major issue is the range. Dude, if you want an EV household and your best range is 320 miles, you can't take a big trip without planning out multiple stops. Like, it's kind of silly. So, like, until the infrastructure is there and we're sitting around a 500-mile range on a non-performance version EV, they just don't make sense. And that's my thought process. And
and to add, if you're making a road trip with the EV vehicle, you're not just having to plan a trip around charging stations, but you also have to plan around the time that the car is charging on the charging station. Because if you're going from like very low percentage up to 100%, as far as I've heard, it takes hours to charge this thing,
depending on the charger you're at, and depending on the car. Like, some of the new Hyundais on a level 3 supercharger can get like 80% charge in like 18 minutes or something like that. Like, it's pretty impressive, but that requires superchargers. And they're not everywhere. They're getting better.
Yeah.
And then you now need adapters if you're not driving a Tesla, typically, to adapt the plug for your car. So it's until they standardize it, which requires all these manufacturers to get together, which is the one good thing the government could try to force, would be try to force the manufacturers to work together to come to a common uniform solution, which they won't do, because that's probably more work than they're willing to do, and the manufacturer probably could come to pound sand. But I don't know. It's a multifaceted problem that's not going to fix itself anytime soon.
Yeah, but I feel like there's a lot of things with EV vehicles that you have to look into as well, because you have to think that your average EV vehicle weighs significantly heavier than your average ICE engine car. So realistically, it's not just even just a whole charging and infrastructure thing. You also have to think structurally for every garage in the United States and parking garage. You have to reinforce the shit out of them, because you're adding on like double the weight to those buildings.
Yeah, because I mean, a long-range EV battery that sits in the bottom of one of these cars is significantly heavier than a full gas tank and a V8 engine. I mean, they're just the way it is. They're very dense material, metallic, heavy items. They weigh a lot, which is, hey, great center of gravity for the car, but it weighs as much as a Hummer H2 sometimes.
Yeah.
Right? And those weren't known to be fuel efficient or go too far in a full tank of gas. I know, I own one.
So,
but
this kind of reminds me of like...
Yeah.
So this kind of reminds me of like Volvo. Like, Volvo hasn't stopped producing internal combustion engines, but aren't they starting to do a little bit more EV stuff? But like,
they've been doing it for a few years now.
That's another import luxury brand that is really not relevant anymore. Nobody's really going crazy about Volvos.
Right.
I don't think anybody's going crazy in the US about Jaguars either. So I feel like this might be like a nail in the coffin, you know?
There's
like,
a good chance. And that's just it, dude. Like, you're dealing with, like, and here's the shame, dude. Jag makes some beautiful cars. Almost everything in their lineup is gorgeous. Including the electric E-Pace. It's a beautiful little SUV. But then you've got things like, you know, on the Land Rover side of it, supercharged V8s. On the Jag side, supercharged V6s and V8s in the little sports car, the little F-types and stuff. Like, They have some beautifully sounding, powerful engines with beautiful vehicles. Like, that's the one thing from the Jaguar Revolt they kept, is just a beautiful car. But now they're about to just fuck it all up. That's what I think.
Yeah. I don't know.
For a global market that isn't supportive.
I think it's a bad decision.
Hybrid first before you do this nonsense. I will always fall back on hybridization.
Right.
Yeah. Actually, you make a very, very interesting point, Nick, because one manufacturer that actually is all about not EV is pushing hybrid is Toyota. Toyota is big.
Well, they always have been. I mean, look at the Prius. The Prius was like the first mainstream hybrid vehicle, to my knowledge. Or, yeah, I'm pretty sure that was like the first one really out.
Yeah, it was
before the Volt, before any of those other. Well, the Volt was full electric, but yeah, I agree with that.
Toyota did a weird thing back in the early 2000s, late 90s with an EV RAV4 that's super rare, but that was their stepping stone to the Prius, basically,
right.
And that was the first true major success to that. And if that doesn't show you that with all the other manufacturers barely doing hybrids, and the Prius is still a phenomenal hybrid option, and it's gonna sound weird saying this because you sit there and be like, "Oh, Prius, haha."
I know they look a lot better. The newest
generation Prius looks so damn good, dude.
Yeah,
dude, I'm not gonna lie,
it looks really good.
Toyota's got some really good looking vehicles these days.
Yeah,
they really do.
They do.
I agree with you. I like the new Prius too. I won't own one still,
especially if you've seen any of the ones that are like slammed on wheels. Oh god, they look sharp, man.
Yeah,
I hate to admit that, but yeah, they actually look pretty good for what they are.
Right.
And
then you have
Honeymoon. They had the smaller one that came out in the U.S. like a year later. I saw over there for the first time, looking all sporty. I think that was kind of the predecessor for this new generation. I mean, it looks great.
Nice.
Yeah, nice.
Well, Jaguar, I feel like it's a bad idea. Bad idea.
So this is random, but I got 2 text messages from FedEx showing 2 packages arriving tomorrow.
I wonder what they are.
I don't know if it's 2 separate shipments for the wheels, or a shipment for wheels and a shipment for suspension. I don't know. 2 separate tracking numbers.
You mean tires? You already have the wheels sitting next to your desk, sir.
Yeah, one is 50 pounds.
That sounds like it might be the coils.
Yeah, that's definitely not the tires.
That's the coils, yeah.
Those things gotta weigh 20 a piece.
You probably have 2 packages for the tires.
Both of these say 50 pounds. I don't know. There's no way the tires weigh that much because the wheels alone weigh like 20 pounds, maybe.
No, that wouldn't be. That's not right. The coilovers for sure will weigh like 50
tires
pounds.
Weigh a lot, buddy.
Yeah.
But not as much as the wheels themselves. That's what I mean. I don't know. We'll see tomorrow.
More to come.
Rise when I get home.
More to come. Yeah,
for sure.
All right,
we got to do a beverage recap.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Let's go ahead and do a beverage recap here. So I'll go ahead and kick it off here. So the corporate ladder, the dessert station apple pie is so freaking good. I'm a huge lover of apple pie, all apple pie things. So if you ever see me out in the public, give me something apple pie and you'll become my best friend. But yeah, it's really delicious. It's really good. It even has, it feels like it's got like I don't want to say apple pulp, but it's probably like apple cider pulp in it. It's weird, like, but it's good. It's really, really good.
I can see that.
Yeah, and of course the Garish Yeast, the Rebouge Vitis. It is freaking phenomenal.
Yeah, I wish I could try that.
Really, really good.
Sounds really good.
Yeah, really, really good meat. We've got to make our way up to Garage East sometime between now and June or July, because we've kind of announced it here in the podcast, but unfortunately, Garage East is closing.
Apologies for the dog.
Yeah.
Are you sure that's not Chelsea over there?
No. I feel like it is a dog.
No, anyway, one of his toys and just chomp.
Yeah, that's funny. But anyways, they're phenomenal. I think the garage, the app. What is it? The dessert station. Oh my god, what's the ABV on this? 6.5%.
400.
Well, dude, like the freaking it's like ghost letters. Like you can barely read that. Jesus.
I can't see shit through the camera.
There's like an old man trying to read this shit. Jesus fucking Christ. This the Garage East, it's 14.7%. Obviously the meat's going to be a lot higher ABV, but they're both really phenomenal beverages. Mike, what do you got?
St. Bernardus was really good. I wish there was more than 11.2 ounces of it because it was had a really good flavor profile. Traditional wits usually have a little bit of a more dry characteristic, which I feel like Nick would appreciate because you usually like a little bit more dry stuff, not so sweet. It's really good. It's got another thing about Belgian beers a lot of times with their wits and kind of lower ABV stuff like the blondes. They have a lot of carbonation to them. I don't know if that's the yeast that they use to brew them with or whatnot, but they're usually a lot more carbonated than like an American
Weird.
craft beer.
I wonder if they like bottle or can condition with the yeast.
It could be.
Yeah.
It could be. But it's definitely got some carbonation to it, but it's really good. This was really tasty. I liked it. And then key lime. This is such a good cider. I would recommend anyone. I think this is pretty much statewide distribution in the state of Florida. If you haven't tried this and you're a cider fan, you really need to. It's got that really kind of rich apple flavor to it, not overly sweet, definitely on the sweeter side, but the key lime kind of cuts through it with some of the like the tartness from the lime. So good. Really, really good.
When we get off of here, you guys send me a picture of that. I'm gonna have to send the wife looking for that because that sounds delicious. I don't drink many ciders. I don't know. We don't.
It's so good.
We don't do a whole lot of cider. Like every now and then, we'll buy some Magners, and we'll do like the whole Guinness Magners mix. But we haven't done that in a while. But I like key lime, so that sounds pretty damn good to me.
Isn't that like a black and tan?
On that note,
Black Velvet.
Oh, Black Velvet.
Yeah.
Bad note on Magners. The entire country is out of Magners right now, and we're going into St. Patrick's next weekend.
Oh, really?
Yep.
But for Longbow and whoever else, the Angry Chair and all those guys, I guess.
Who screwed that up?
Well, rumor on the street is that there's somehow the contract ended abruptly with the importer. And now basically there's no one in the country that is distributing Magners. So, and they ran them dry. I don't know if this was strategic or what, but maybe they wanted to stop selling in the U.S., which I can't imagine.
I don't know.
Excuse me, I can't imagine that being the case. Cider. I mean, it's a long-standing
and it's a
cider.
I think it's probably one of the best of all the ones I've had. I mean, they make
honestly the Magners pear is
so good, delicious, dude. So I had Magners back in college for the first time ever. I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. And someone was like, yeah, I went to Ireland a few years ago and found Bulmers. Well, Bulmers is identical. It's the same thing, literally the same label and everything, but the name is different. It's Bulmers in Ireland. Right. It's Magners over here. So when we learned that, we started hunting down Magners. And we found it. It was like, holy shit, it's amazing. So then I went to Ireland that year or something like that with my in-laws and got to find some Bulmers over there. And I was like, holy shit, it truly is the exact same thing. Yeah, and they always say like Guinness over there tastes better than it does here. And I don't know that I'll confirm that. I think it's because too many places don't have a proper nitro tap, and that's the major reason. You don't get that body. So when you find it in the right place, it does taste the same. But through that whole experience, I just basically realized that Magners/Bulmers was phenomenal. Nice. It'd be a real shame if they discontinue that in this country.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what we'd have to do is just get in contact with Australia, and they can send us some Dickens cider.
Dickens cider. Everybody loves a Dickens cider.
Yep.
Wouldn't mind having a little bit of that later. So anyway, to my beverages, I'm just finishing up the old fashioned again with the Gentleman's Jack. And the important thing for anybody looking, this is delicious. The flavor of this is phenomenal. It literally, if you've ever had one of those, like I don't know if Disney has it, but you ever had one of those frozen bananas covered in chocolate? It's this shit right here. So this with a mix or a base, or make this the base, 2-to-1 with a whiskey or a bourbon, or vice versa. Just a phenomenal flavor. Not weirdly synthetic tasting, like just what you'd expect from like a chocolate covered banana. Great choice. And then I haven't jumped into the Hopsecutioner yet. I just cracked it open. I haven't started drinking it yet. But I already know that's gonna be good. That's just Hopsecution is just a solid IPA.
Nice.
It's not our good old standard all day IPA or anything like that, but it's a solid IPA. So I know I'm gonna enjoy that here in a little bit, regardless. But yeah, that's
Nice.
that. And then my Voodoo Ranger Juicy Hazy IPA was, as expected, phenomenal. I know it's sadly Mike's competitor, but somebody I think left them here at a party, and I'm gonna drink them. So whatever.
They're still good beers.
That's fair.
Voodoo has good beers.
If it's free, I'm gonna drink it. I don't care whose it is.
Unless
it's
beer is the best.
Somebody
best beer.
keeps leaving Miller Lite at my house when they come over, and I will not drink that. However, the other shit they leave, I'll drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to see who brings shit, and then just be like,
I mean, I know who brings the Miller Lite.
Bring that beer.
And they're very good friends, good people, and I like them, so I'm not going to call them out. But I'll tell you, he's a plumber.
You should.
He's a blue collar guy. But what's crazy is he's from England. Like I feel like he knows.
Oh, really? It's him?
Yeah. Every time they come over, he brings Miller Lite. Every time.
Right, he is really good, dude.
He's a good dude. So I won't rip on him too much for that. And his wife's great. She's very pregnant.
For sure.
Like things are going great. Like his new plumbing business is going great. So I'm not going to knock on him. But for whatever reason, his go-to is Miller Lite. And for a guy from England that should be drinking some Boddingtons or something like that, I don't understand that. Like,
yeah, that's interesting. And on that note, that's all the time that we have here for you guys. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate every single one of you guys and everyone that's subscribed to our socials and to our channels. Don't forget to save your brews and hit the road responsibly. Also, don't forget to hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff.
Subscribe.
Yes, subscribe. This upcoming weekend, we're going to be filming a in-person podcast. We're going to try to do them more for you. Just February and March is just weird for doing in person.
Yeah,
we're gonna have some more in-person podcasts here for you guys to enjoy us having some really
for sure.
fun, probably more than two.
Well, I'm saying the next two 100% for sure. Like we know, locked in.
Yeah, no, I feel like we're gonna be doing more at a specific location, more than one. We have option for more than one.
That's true because I work next Sunday and we're gonna come back Saturday night probably. So yeah, I'll be off the next one. So
yeah. But yeah, so the next podcast is going to be very interesting. Interesting location and interesting just all in general.
It'd be my first time there actually, so I'm pretty excited. It's my first time there, and we're going to be talking to somebody who not only is kind of a master of the beer world, but a big car junkie. So that's going to be awesome.
Oh yeah! So
we were talking earlier today, so he's excited for it. It's going to be fun.
Nice.
So expect a long one on the next podcast. Just saying, because we're probably going to be ranting a lot. And another interesting place, which I'm just gonna say it, we're gonna be filming our podcast at Sebring next week. Actually, we're gonna be there Wednesday. Podcast, because I feel like we can probably have multiple interesting guests on, so we might film more than one.
Most of them will be really drunk,
including us.
I'm not including
us.
True. I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah.
More to come. More to come.
Anywho, subscribe
on that bombshell.
And on that bombshell. Cheers to Booze and Cars, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Cheers.
Cheers.